Hello, I am Nigeria Seabury, and I'm sitting here with my school principal, Mr. Turman, and our topic today is how we can steer our high school in a positive direction.
Hello, how are you?
Hi. So, what was it like your first day of school?
Uh, it was- I haven't been in a school probably in about 4 years. I was in the central office for a period of time. So before that, I was in Philadelphia as a high school principal. The first day was, let's just say, it was interesting. I had heard a lot of stories about what 13th Street looked like first thing in the morning, and I was able to actually see what that looked like on the first day of school. Um, Large number of students just hanging out, didn't want to come inside, and it took us probably about 30, 45 minutes to get everybody in the building. So that was very challenging. And But what I will say is what has transformed now is that by 8:10, 8:15, for the most part, 13th Street is pretty clear. Students are in class and homeroom, ready to start the instructional day. So that was probably the first memory I will have at Reading High School is standing outside across the street at the AM PM, and there's about 200 kids standing over there with me.
I remember first day of school, you pulling the kids and bringing them in class. We were like, "Oh, who's that? Is that the new principal?" So yeah, I witnessed that. But that's all the negative parts of Reading High School. What can we do to help our school get a positive image now?
Well, I think it's going to take a lot of time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. We have a lot of work to do ahead of us, but it's not really about one person. It's not about me. It's more about us as a collective group, teachers, administrators, students, parents, the community, how we all come together to devise a plan in terms of how we're going to support kids and get them to graduate in 4 years and then get them prepared for post-secondary and get them ready for college. So it's us developing a plan where everyone's at the table saying, this is my part, this is my role, and this is what I'm going to be responsible to do in order to make Reading High School the best. There's no reason why we cannot be the best.
So what can us students do to contribute? What can we do as a whole to help?
Take your education seriously, and also believe that you can accomplish anything. The unfortunate part is sometimes we only want to compare ourselves with urban schools. They only want to compare Reading with Lancaster or Allentown. But at the end of the day, you're not competing with kids from Allentown for a job in Berks County. You're competing with kids from Wyomissing, Governor Mifflin, Exeter, for a job in this county. So, students at Reading High School have to be committed to getting an education, coming to school on time, and being able to do work. There are too many kids who want to take the easy way out. I don't want to take an honors course. I don't want to take an AP course. Just let me drop that and take a lower level course because that's the easier way out. And then they get to college and then they struggle. So we've actually become part of the problem. It's no longer going to be, I don't want to do the work. Yeah, you're going to do the work, and we're going to provide the support in order to make you become a better student and become better prepared. So the students of Reading High School just have to take their education seriously and use their education as a way out.
Some students might not get what the teacher teaches, and they may relate to another student helping them. So how can we come together and develop like a program, like a mentoring program to help them, like tutors and peers?
There's a lot of ways we can, and we've actually started some of that with volunteering. The counselors started to take the volunteering packets to study hall and taking kids out of study hall. And each teacher has the opportunity to pick one student per period to come in and volunteer and help other students who may be struggling in the classroom. Also, putting together a program for two programs. One for students who may need some direction. Students who may need somebody as an academic mentor, a directional mentor, or maybe someone from a behavior standpoint. Being able to see someone who may have gone through the struggle, but who, made something of themselves and of their life. So, a mentor is definitely something that we are looking to, hopefully at the end of or beginning of the second marking period, have people from the community who are willing to come and to help students who really have no direction right now. And the other part is maybe tapping into universities who have student teachers or students who graduated from Reading High School and they want to get back, who are willing to come after school and help tutor kids who may struggle in chemistry or biology or Algebra 2 or Trig or whatever course it may be. So we need to start tapping into resources in Berks County, because at this point in time, people want to see Reading High School be successful.
I think that's important because as big a size we are and as many people here, what we do in school will affect outside of school. So like we do good in here, most likely the community can contribute or adapt to how everyone else is, but it's not going to be an easy job. So like what's our first step? Like how can we start this?
Well, we've already developed a mentor program. We're putting the finishing touches on that. There are some community people who we're actually meeting with, actually some this week, who want to get this off the ground and get this rolling. So that's obviously the first step. First step is always putting a plan in place. First step actually is identifying the problem. So we've identified a problem in terms of kids who need someone to spend some one-on-one time with them and who's going to be able to provide them direction. So that part's been done. The second part is being able to put a program together. That part is almost complete. Now it's who are the people who are going to come in and help us. So I think we've made some strides in terms of saying and putting a plan together. A plan's only a plan. You have to be able to take a plan and be able to see it through and put pieces in place. So I think at this point in time we've done that, and I think these students and those students who really struggle, students who don't have a lot of credit, who are 16, 17 years old, we have to be able to provide support for these kids so that they don't fall through the cracks. So we've taken some steps in righting the ship and moving in that direction.
Okay. As a student, I know that some students don't take their education seriously, as well as others who do. And in class, sometimes students will draw attention to themselves and we're not learning anything. So it's not like we're focusing on the students who don't want to be helped, but what about the students who are doing their job? What happens to them?
And that's a very, very interesting comment or question. Let's take, for example, our AP students. Our AP test scores have not been to the point where they've been promising. But there's a group of students who really come to Reading High School and who really do want to be here and who want to be successful. But in talking to some of the AP kids, their first thing is when you start talking to them about the AP exam is, we can't pass that exam. And, you start to ask the question why. And it's a mindset that for whatever reason, that the belief system isn't there, that we can be successful at any level. So it's really changing a mindset and getting kids to believe that it can happen here. And then also that they're going to have to work hard to get to that point. A lot of the students who really are focused in what they need to do here just have to have confidence in their own abilities. We have a great staff here. We have a great group of teachers who really want to see the students do well. So from that end, what I see is people starting to come together to achieve one common goal, no matter what level a student is at. Whether that student is at the highest level or he's at the bottom. People are starting to come together to make this happen.
Okay, how can I word this? Higher AP students are coming together, helping each other, or they're going to help students lower get to where they should be at. In the past, there was looping, or AP students helping lower students. It wasn't really fair, as what I was hearing from other people. It wasn't fair. They were just they had the same opportunities I had, but they fooled around with it. I didn't do that. Why do I have to do this? You know what I mean? How can the AP students do help but not be bored? They don't want to teach the same stuff they already learned when it's hard to explain.
Well, I'll give you an example. On Tuesday, we had a power teaching visit here, and we had the opportunity to walk in a group of math classes. So we walked into the calculus A and calculus B class, And what I saw were there were three kids in the back who, I think those were the Calculus B students. It was their second year in calculus. And then there was a group of students in the front who this was their first year in calculus. And through the framework of power teaching, what I saw in the back, I sat in the back group. Now, granted, they knew a lot more about calculus than I did, but what I saw was students, same level, who were helping each other. And there was no teacher there. The teacher was working with the group in the front. He was doing a fantastic job with the group in the front. But the kids in the back were engaged. They were learning from each other, and they were pushing each other. And it was it just was a neat thing to see kids coming together to help each other out. The students were just working as a group and as a team to help each other solve the problems. And if one individual had a different answer, the other individual would have to explain why he got his answer. So it was a lot of higher order questioning, a lot of higher order conversation going on with three kids in the back of the room, and the teacher was facilitating another group. So yes, it's good to have students who are at that level be able to go and help tutor other kids, but they also have to push each other. And I can see that really in our math classes, how kids are really being aggressive and helping each other.
I'm also in calculus, and we do group work. That's like our job to help while the teacher's not there. Like, so I know that because I'm with 12th graders in my class. I'm like the only 11th grader, but they help me also because like in Algebra 1 I was stumped. Like I did not do good, so now they refreshed me and everything. But since we're coming together in school slowly, eventually how can we do this in our community, come together and accept each other?
You know, I think the community just needs a win. And I think, you know, you don't realize the impact that Reading High School has on the community. But at the end of the day, as Reading High School goes, is as the city of Reading will go. You know, it's where a lot of, anytime you hear someone talk about the Reading School District, the first building out of their mouth is Reading High School. So, you know, if Reading High School can just move students in terms of being proficient, in terms of improving the graduation rate, decreasing the dropout percentage, and getting more kids into post-secondary who are then willing to come back and help every other students, you know, I think there will be just a good vibe going in the city in terms of, you know, what is being accomplished at the high school level. So it's really, at this point in time, we just need to get a win. And a win is some improvement so that people can believe in what's going on at Reading High School. And that's not just in the school, it's in the community as well.